because that was good. I think not that.
Hey, everybody.
Not that you need me,
Yeah.
but I think.
No, I had a great. No, it was fantastic.
I think
it
the
was comfort.
second. That's what I'm saying. I think the second person here. I think you need to. You know what I mean? Like you need
Yeah.
to be like. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I
Yeah.
don't say shit. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, you get it. You totally do.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, chat room. You know what? Let's go live on the F4W feed.
F foie dubs. It used to be a foie gras company, right?
That's exactly what it was.
Are we live now?
We are live.
Matt Reichel, $4.99. Hi, Andrew and Rich. Can't listen live because of work. What are the odds we get under Undisputed Era minus Roddy versus the Elite in 2022? I'll listen later. I think you're gonna get that.
All right. Hey, chat room. So we're live on the F4W feed also. On Twitch. We're live on YouTube, on the Mattman channel. We're going to be live in a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is just prepping here.
You know, I read an interesting article this morning. You'd
What?
appreciate this. Apparently, William Hurt, the actor,
Yeah.
is a huge truther.
Really?
Yeah, he's narrated. I read this whole thing. and I was
Like a 9/11 truth or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
flat Earth truth?
No, 9/11. And I read this whole thing this morning about how he's narrating this documentary because he had an out-of-body experience that brought him to Ground Zero.
Wow.
And that he saw, in that out-of-body experience, he saw everything happen.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's what made him become a truther.
You know what? I love wacky guys like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
doesn't?
crazy, right? That's really like nutty crazy.
When the wackiness is harmless, it's the best. When the wackiness gets out of hand,
Yeah. Then it gets a little nutty.
like, with the cues and all that stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The Q-tips.
The pizza
Yeah,
gay people.
Oh, we can't say that.
The pizza people. That stuff gets out of hand. But listen, if you think JFK Jr. is coming back, that's cool. I think Tupac's coming back. Tupac's on an island with Biggie right now.
Yeah, Biggie. Elvis too.
And,
And the Roswell alien.
hey,
dude.
you guys come join me on this island. You guys want to come join me on this island?
That's a terrible Tupac, dude.
I like your music. That's how Tupac really sounds.
All right, guys.
I like your music.
Getting ready here. Gonna go live. Matt Brothers, what up? Radio Diddy. Diddy.
Imagine Elvis and Tupac doing a duet of "Keep Your Head Up."
Someone has to have done that mashup, right?
That
Like,
would be
you know
amazing.
what? With AI, they could probably do it now. And on
Oh,
stage
my
at
God.
Coachella. I want to see that. You know what? I want to see the King of Rock and Roll and Tupac Shakur on stage at Coachella doing a duet.
The holograms?
The holograms doing a duet.
Oh my God! I'll keep your head up.
Falling in love.
Oh dear mama.
Oh, dear mama.
Oh dear mama.
Elvis singing Tupac? Fantastic. All right. All right, guys. Getting ready here. MG Geek, do me a favor. Start tweeting us out. Let people know we're live. All right. People are piling in the chat. Excellent. All right, we're going to be doing Q&As here. A little preview before we begin. Q&As, use the hashtag AskMattmen on Twitter if you want to ask on Twitter. Or you could ask in the chat room, MG Geek. And our producers will be putting this together for everybody in the chat room. All right. Also, Patreon, patreon.com/MattMen Podcast. You enjoy what we do, you can fund us there. Where else can people fund us? Super Chat. You can hit the Super Chat button and hit the fund us on Super Chat. There we go.
Oh dear mama.
Hey, great job on Sunday, guys. It was a great listen. Thank you. Can't wait for Andrew to get more comfortable and kill it. Thank you very much. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter getting used to, and I think last week was a nice little run.
That was great, man. That was great. You did great. You know what? I was I get so horny for that stuff too. I was telling Vicky about it, like when we got home, about how cool it was. Just that it's automatic with the music,
Yeah.
and then the stuff like
Yeah,
that.
just
you
your
know,
brain
like
gets
you hit the
programmed.
timing. So
Yo. All the Twitch homies. Brian would say.
Supersonic
it-
X. Good morning, Andrew and Gary. Who the fuck's Gary?
Gary?
Am I Gary?
You're Gary, dude.
You know what Gary's short for?
What is it?
Gerald.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Gerald? Gerald is Gary, no?
Garold. Garold.
You know what Jerry's short for?
Jerome.
No.
Hmm.
Michelangelo. Jerome.
And you do your Michelangelo impression. Is this the new thing now?
Yeah.
We're just gonna have like.
Do you know who sent this to me?
Hey, who?
Adult film star Joanna Angel.
Oh, God bless
She
her.
sent me. She works for Liquid Web, and she sent me like a whole bunch of cases. So
God bless
thank
her.
you.
There's a little bit of pea juice in here.
There you
No?
go. No, not in this one.
This is nice and cold. Thank you.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Ready?
Oh, look at this. I think Mattman needs to all follow Andrew's fashion sense. Make Mattman a highbrow polish show. I want it to be a posh show. Not like that ham and egger Chico Alvarez.
Oh my God. Sure. Hey, we could. You want to class it up? We'll class it up.
Chico's
man.
got a nice Rolex too.
I'm down with
We
suits.
were talking Rolexes with each other the other day.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. All right, boys and girls. By the way, I got the Mox book. I haven't started it yet, but you know what I have started? The Bald Truth by Spencer Coburn.
Oh, nice.
My favorite book.
Let me see.
This is a book. This is what
I
made
know
him a
it's
New
a
York.
book.
He's a New York Times bestseller.
This is a book. Like
This
I've never
is a
seen a
book.
book.
This is a
before.
book.
The first complete guide to preventing and treating hair loss. Oh, your pictures in here.
There are pictures.
a lot of
It's
pictures of
all
you in
pictures. It's all my
Oh.
pictures. It was written in 1998 too. It's so weird. All right. We're having fun here today. We're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mattmen, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zahn. Of course, I'm joined by the Mario to my Luigi, Mr. Rich Stambolian.
It's me, Rich. What's up, man?
That is racist.
Oh no!
That is the worst Irish accent I've ever heard in my life.
Imagine if we get canceled for doing like a Mario and Luigi
Well,
impression.
you know what? At the end of the day, if I were to, I'd be okay with that. If that's what it comes down to, okay, cool, whatever.
All right.
That's what I got canceled for. Guys, I've said way worse, trust me. Guys, this show's all about professional wrestling. We like to have fun here. Thursdays, 10 a.m. East. We do it bright and early before I start my my trip to Hell on Earth, known as Manhattan,
Oh boy.
every single day. We talk about all things professional wrestling. If you enjoy the show, you could fund us on Patreon, patreon.com/MattmenPodcast. We have nice little bonuses that go up there. Rich and MG Geek are running the show over there. Also, if you're watching live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MattmenPodcast, hit the super chat button. You can fund us as little as whatever you want, $1, $2, $10, $20, whatever you want to fund us. You go ahead and fund us. And of course, you can watch us on the F4W videos Twitch stream. Twitch.tv/F4W video. You could head on over there and watch there. There's a bunch of people in that chat room. We got a bunch of people in the YouTube chat room. And we have a ton of wrestling to talk about. Hey, I want a big thank you to everybody last week. The kind words were fantastic. I don't know if you guys heard. I'm running the Sunday episode, Sunday edition of Wrestling Observer Live. It was a really fun show. We did an hour, because I had to get my bearings in order. I had to figure out how this works. But next week, this Sunday, we're doing 2 hours. You can watch on Twitch, and of course, you can listen on Sports Byline anywhere the show's available. But it was a lot of fun. The feedback was fantastic. Garrett in studio was great. Rich in studio, I told him, very grateful to have him here. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be back every Sunday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Different guests, different everything. So
Awesome.
we'll go there. A lot to talk about. Last week, we did not get to do a show. We did an interview with R-Truth in the morning. Which was great.
That's
fantastic dude. Ron Killings, fantastic guy. We spoke to him, and I had to get out of here, so we didn't really get a chance to do a show. But Friday was the big story last week.
Yes.
A lot of cuts, Rich.
My God. So, 18 people got cut, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you want to quickly run down this list?
Go ahead, yeah.
Nia Jax, Eva Marie, Mia Yim, Harry Smith, Keith Lee, Karen Cross, Lindsay Dorado, Grand Metalik, Jeet Rama, Katrina Cortez, Trey Baxter, Zeta Ramir, Jesse Camilla, BFAB, Oni Lorgan, Ember Moon, Frankie Monet, and Scarlett Bordeaux. A lot of names on this list are mind-boggling to me that they let go, but that's the preface for my next statement,
Why? Why?
that WWE doesn't give a poop about wrestling.
Well,
Like wrestling.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're going to go into that. Tim Anger,
Yeah.
$20, the best wrestling show out there. Keep up the work.
Thanks,
Keep it
Tim.
up, Johns. Tim is a great long-time viewer.
He wants you to eat your shirt.
I know he wants me to eat my shirt, and you know what? WrestleMania weekend. You know what? I will figure out a way. I will eat a piece of my shirt for him. Little tiny nibble.
Do you want me to like stir fry it with some garlic?
Yeah, please. I gotta eat my shirt. I promise I'm gonna eat my shirt if I was wrong.
So good.
So it's funny because the releases happen. Obviously, I had heard early that morning, right,
Mhm.
that there were going to be releases, and I asked, where they come from, what is it? They said, oh, it's going to be some NXT and corporate.
Yeah.
We did see the corporate releases. We saw it on Thursday, and we saw some on Friday.
Mhm.
It's less of on the corporate side, and we'll go into the talent. The corporate side is restructuring.
Yeah.
And essentially, the entire issue is that there's two marketing divisions in WWE. One is considered the branding division. One is called marketing. This was a thing that many companies did 2016 on, 2014 on, where they decided that their marketing team has to be different than their branding team.
Right.
It's the same job. Let me just say that. As someone that has been 20 years in marketing and branding and sales and forecasting of your results via social, all that nonsense,
Yeah.
right? It's the same job, same division. It's all marketing.
Is it a real left Twix, right Twix situation?
It's exactly that.
Okay.
You know what? It is exactly that.
Mhm.
Listen, the branding is more on the visual side. I get it.
Yeah.
It's a softer touch. Marketing, does deep dives into analytics. Maybe branding doesn't really do that as much. It depends on the company. I've been with companies that have done both. Like we had a branding and marketing. Right now we call it, like a remarketing division and a
Mhm.
marketing division because they're two different things. That doesn't concern me. A lot of people are talking about, this is a great indicator of a possible sale. I think it's a great indicator of cutting the fat, getting a little bit leaner going into 2022 and 2023
Mhm.
without really knowing what's happening.
Right.
We're seeing economic change. We're seeing a lot of stuff change. People's patterns are changing, and you're going to want to cut where you can if you have redundancy.
Mhm.
There's no issue with that on the corporate side. Now the talent side
Yeah.
is a whole different story. Some of these names, you look at it and you say, you know what? Actually, let me pull back from there.
Mhm.
I got a call on Friday night.
Mhm.
Okay? I got a call pretty much saying, hey, you want to know what I heard? And I could tell you that 4 to 6 of these were vaccination status releases.
Mhm.
4 were specifically vaccination status.
Mhm.
2 were maybe on like the borderline of getting released, maybe not getting released, and this was maybe a push.
Mhm.
Some of them were by choice. They decided they wanted to leave. You kind of guess which ones are there that wanted to leave.
Right. Right. Right.
And by the way, I'm not gonna name names for anybody. There was one name that went out. It was Nia Jackson. New York Post posted that.
Yes.
They confirmed that, and they're the ones that released that name. I could tell you that she was one of the names that I was told, but I'm not going to release anybody else's name. It's
Interesting.
none of my business. I feel like it's nobody's business but yours. Whatever decision you want to make.
Exactly.
Listen, forget about my stance on this. To take my stance out,
Mhm.
I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
That's how I feel.
I mean, we shouldn't talk about it. It's a wrestling show.
Some of them, like Eva Marie was filming a movie. Harry Smith
Mhm.
never showed up on TV.
Yeah, it's
Mia Yim, I don't know if that's a Keith Lee situation. I know that Keith Lee made a statement here.
Mhm.
I was shocked to hear that he paid for all of his medical himself.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Wasn't that interesting? Because normally you would imagine that, maybe it's a work-related thing.
Yeah, but listen, the guy paid all his medical bills.
He paid, yeah. So, that's a whole thing. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are fascinating. We never got Scarlett on the main roster. They never brought her up with him. He was getting ready for a total repackage again. They were tweaking his character once more.
Yeah.
Lindsay Dorado, Grand Metalik. I would say that maybe they wanted to go. I don't know. I'm just interested
Yeah.
in that. Jeet Rama. I don't know why. And then some of them they weren't working. Here are the two that shocked me. Right. B-Fab really surprised me.
Yes.
And there was a report that came out. Let me read this here. All right. And I'm just gonna see what this said here. Okay. So I don't know why she got released, right? There was a report that came out as to what the deal was and why she was released. And I don't know. I haven't been able to confirm anything, but I find it very bizarre for a company to sign somebody,
Mhm.
bring them up to the main roster, make a big announcement, and cut out the female in the group. And there's some speculation that,
Yeah.
some of it had to do with the fact that they don't really have stables on the main roster with men and women combined,
Right.
right? So maybe that was a reason. That was a reason that was put out there. But then why wouldn't you use her as a singles? You just brought her. You didn't even give her an opportunity. Unless there's something more behind it that we don't know.
Right. And I think, like that the Frankie Monet thing, I think, is like bizarre too, just because of how much they invested into her. They gave her the vignettes. They gave her a lot of promo time. She's married to John Morrison. And then
she's another one they didn't really do much with.
Yeah. Very fascinating. I mean, like,
the story was her age.
Okay.
But I mean, she's 37, 38. I mean, in what universe is that considered older? You know what I mean? When your entire roster of men, your top wrestlers are all in their late to mid 30s
and it's
40s.
It's a different 30s and 40s now.
It's a very different 30s and 40s for everybody. So I know that. Listen, for NXT, did she make sense? No, but you could have brought her for the main roster and do something. She's a great hand to have.
Absolutely. You know what's fascinating about this too is that there was that conference call months ago where Vince said that oddball statement of, maybe we'll give AEW some more talent very soon,
Yeah.
And I understand when they were scooping up the indies, to make like their cool version of like Ring of Honor or beyond with NXT. And now this is like, I think all those signings almost biting them in the butt.
It was a retaliatory move.
Yeah.
When, from the first time they did this, it was against Ring of Honor, right? Because they totally stacked up NXT. And that kind of pivoted their entire vision of NXT, which I want to get into because I have some time today with this. I want to get into, what happened with NXT, where a lot of people are very upset that this is not going to be the same NXT. But I think what happened, the reality is this is back on track, what they wanted.
Right. Except it's not on the network anymore.
Yeah. It's on national TV, on cable TV. This was always the vision for NXT. What happened was they realized that they have something really positive. They have an alternate product, and they went heavy after Ring of Honor. That's really what they did. They signed up their entire top roster. They went after New Japan's roster that was on Ring of Honor TV, and they kind of crushed Ring of Honor with the opportunity of taking away a Kevin Owens, a Sami Zayn, Nakamura, the Bullet Club guys, pre AEW, like Gallows and Anderson, those guys, AJ Styles. This was an interesting move to kind of saturate their roster with all these guys. Ricochet, all these guys got signed to NXT. They go to the main roster, they don't do anything, so it really deterred NXT, and they had to become a touring brand when you're investing so much money in guys like Shinsuke Nakamura as your world champion, Samoa Joe is your world champion, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. You had to become a touring brand at that point.
Absolutely.
It logistically, it didn't make sense to them, because we heard the stories how they couldn't make money off of NXT.
Right. Well, how about this? How about this perspective? They tried to capitalize on NXT becoming cool, right?
And it did.
Because at one point, NXT was the coolest thing on TV. But here's the thing. WWE does not know how to do cool.
No, because
and I think that's the bottom line right there.
Okay, but how do you
do cool?
do cool? Listen, in comedy, right? Comedy is a great example of how WWE, it's a problem for them.
Yeah.
How do you do cool when you have one guy? If you have Dave Chappelle,
right?
Topical guy.
Great.
Dave Chappelle, considered one of the greatest comics of all time.
With it.
Of that generation. I mean, if he had a joke, that's a killer joke. And now he's writing that joke. And it goes through the hands of, 5 different people.
Yeah.
By the time that joke is delivered on TV, it is a very different message. And that is exactly the problem when cool kind of gets destroyed in that company.
Finn Balor is a great example of that. On NXT, Finn Balor, when Hideo Itami was having that feud with the Ascension, and he kept getting beat up every week.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm going to introduce you to my friend from Japan. Finn Balor comes out. Cool dude. 3 years on that roster. Headlining takeovers. Cool shit. Put him on the main roster. What happens?
He breaks his arm.
Well, besides the injuries.
Just
not cool anymore.
No, they tone him down.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like what you were saying. Telephone telewrestler. It's like that with the writers.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, we could do a deep dive analysis in that company, and I think everybody understands what the problem is. And listen, Monday Night Raw, you're looking at the rating, 1.5 something million. Listen, competition's heavy. You can blame Monday Night Football all you want, but I say this all the time, and this goes for AEW. If you have a product people want to watch, they're going to watch it.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, football is on, people are watching it. Well, if you had a better product than football, they would do it.
100%. Yeah, for sure. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
All right. NXT War Games was announced for December 5th.
There is a lacking of takeover, huh?
Interesting. It's very interesting. We were just talking about the NXT stuff. I think the takeovers added to that cool factor. Now with this NXT 2.0, I personally don't see that cool factor there.
With NXT with War Games?
With War, like to sell out like Barclays Center. You know what I mean? For example.
So I asked about this. And I said, well, what's the deal with the with the takeover name? He goes, well, one person said it's gone, right? The first person that told me this said, we're done with that. That was a different era. You know, now we're in a whole different branding thing where they realized the takeover name doesn't really matter, but the names like Halloween Havoc and War Games and things like this, it matters. And being on TV, it helps the number. So it goes from like 600 something thousand to like in the sevens. You know, they're able to do that with this. Takeovers, and another person told me that if they were to go back to large venues, they would use a takeover name. If they're sharing the venue with WWE, they'll use the takeover name.
Interesting.
So if they used Barclays Center, it is kind of a takeover. I don't know. I have no way of confirming that. It was one person. One person told me one thing, another person told me another. So I'm not really gonna sit there and say this is what was reported. Yeah. So we'll see. AEW TV special. We kind of broke this the other day. Did we talk about it on the air?
I don't think we did.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So there's going to be an AEW TV special. It's going to be called the Battle of the Belts on January 8th. It's going to be the first of their quarterly specials. Not pay-per-views, quarterly specials. They're still going to do their big four every year. I like this, man. I like this. You can't, they're good at not, they could, listen, AEW could easily do one pay-per-view every month, right?
They could, yeah.
You know, like classic WWE style.
Do you want to see that? Do you want to see one pay-per-view every month? No, I don't either.
Once a quarter is perfect because you get that beautiful build, you know, and then you have stuff like the Jericho Cruise, you know, Grand Slam, like those special events that you can have on TV, and something like this I think is perfect.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, right? Yeah. Like, you don't really, when you don't have a monthly pay-per-view, you don't have that idea of hold it for the pay-per-view. Save that for the pay-per-view. You could do it on TV.
Yes.
And it works for them. You know, you're seeing some pretty interesting matches. By the way, which I want to talk about Dynamite and I want to talk about Raw. That there were two matches that I thought were pretty cool for both. But it meant so much more on one side than the other one. It's all perspective based.
Yes.
You know, and we'll go into that. I'm excited for that. All right, cool. I'm curious to see what they do. The Battle of the Belts is an homage to the NWA CWF show that took place 85, 86, and 87. It was kind of like a precursor to Clash. This was like the beginning of it. Very cool. All right. It was a Florida thing, and they're going to be doing it. I'm into it.
Same here. That makes me happy as a wrestling fan. You're also going to get Okada and Ishii in the United States, which makes me wrestling horny.
Yes, it does. Unlike Horny Harry.
Horny
Harry Tarjanian.
He's just like old school horny. You know, he shows up in a trench coat with nothing on underneath.
Yeah, I saw him do that at Exotica. Classic. That's what he did to everybody.
Classic. He's a flasher.
He Michael Scotted everybody.
Classic horny. But if you're horny for wrestling like I am, having Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii in the United States right after the that mini Suzuki tour, it makes you think of every dream match you want to see happen.
Listen, I'm into it. You know, and here's the other thing, right? And I don't think anybody really... A casual fan's not going to get excited for Okada. They don't know who Okada is. They don't care about Okada. But for us, very cool. We enjoy it. I'm fine with it. I'm able to separate the two. This is very interesting. So, and I'm going to go into something else here. The Rey Mysterio stuff, right?
Yes, go ahead.
I know that was that in the notes. Am I skipping ahead?
You're skipping way ahead.
Okay, then forget it. Then continue. I'll go into that. No. I'll go into that.
So you're gonna get New Japan Battle in the Valley this weekend, which is overlapping with the last hour of Full Gear. You're gonna get Josh Alexander versus Yuya Uemura, Okada versus Buddy Matthews, formerly Buddy Murphy.
Very cool.
Ren Narita versus Will Ospreay, and you're getting Jay White versus Ishii for the never open weight. I think this is going to be a fun, small event. Yesterday on Dynamite, apparently Okada, through Rocky Romero, invited best friends to join Chaos.
Okay.
and be in chaos, which sparked
A lot of speculation.
a lot of speculation that we're getting Okada Daniel Bryan. Like
Right-
now.
Like right now?
Like
Is that
right
what people
now.
thought?
Yeah.
I don't
People
know
thought it was
why.
going to happen yesterday.
Is that what people thought?
Yeah. Yeah. I was going through the socials and a lot of folks were like,
I mean, that's a crazy
Tonight's gonna-
speculation.
Dude, imagine if it happened, though.
But here's the thing, right? It's a go-home show. Why would you do that? Why would you waste that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and this is where like you got to kind of understand it a little bit, right?
Mhm.
You got to understand how TV works. You can't. Why would you put that on the show?
I think him showing up would have been awesome.
By the way, AEW did do a good job at highlighting their young talent the last like 3 weeks.
Yes,
they're,
sir.
they're very much shifting a little bit with that.
I enjoy it a lot. I think they're like, these guys need TV time. These guys need TV time. Watch all these matches. You know, it seems like it's a very like a learning experience for a lot of these guys. You
Mhm.
know.
Up, down, down. You want to go into this?
Yeah, up, down, down. This is per Fightful. So the contributors to Up, Down, Down have stopped making content. This is very fascinating overall. So Xavier apparently does not really make any money from it.
From up, down, down.
From Up, Down, Down.
By choice or by due to WWE?
I think it's probably due to WWE because, you know, like, and this is my own perspective from it, going from Zack Ryder wanting to do that toy podcast and him talking about bringing it to creative, and they're like, well, we're going to own everything and we don't really see much of a market for it.
Yeah.
You know, could it be the same thing happened to Xavier where they're like, hey, we'll own it, and then all of a sudden it's 2 million subscribers, you know, and he should be making, if you have 2 million subscribers on YouTube, you should be making a decent chunk of change from that, especially with you being like a famous person. Am I wrong about that?
You're not wrong.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Are you playing video games?
No, I
you playing
don't.
StarCraft?
No. I'm trying to think. Like, I thought Xavier was part of his deal.
I guess not, man.
I'm surprised by this. I don't know much about these deals. I really haven't asked about it.
Yeah.
I do know that these guys could possibly make tremendous money. Adam Cole was making great money on this.
Mhm.
I know Paige made I don't know, what she's doing, but in the time that she was doing Twitch, she was making tremendous money off of it. It's very profitable for these guys, and they have the logic that they got to make as much money as they can now, while they could still work.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I think let them stream. Who cares? Why is this a problem? It's not taking away from anything. WWE's not doing anything with it.
No, not at all. Also, Xavier has said in the past year that he wants to retire early.
Yeah.
You know? Now, where do you see this happening? If you're going to play like a speculator on Xavier Woods.
Nothing. I think he's going to stay there.
Company man?
Yeah, I think he's a company man. He's
Okay.
happy. I mean, as far as I know, he's right now. Listen, he's a major pivotal part of that company.
Yes.
He's everywhere. He's like another Miz. He's a great ambassador to that for that company. So, Monday Night Raw, 1.549 million, third lowest hour, lowest third hour in history, 1.37 million. Yikes!
Wow.
And you know what the main event was? Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yike! Again, the perception of importance matters.
Right.
That on paper is a really good match. Ended via count out. KO snapped on Big E after, so Kevin Owens is once again a heel. They're going that way.
That's fine.
I don't want to spend time on the show.
Sure.
We will go into this one though.
Okay.
They planted the seed for the Rey Mysterio possible breakup.
Great.
Somebody within WWE told me, yeah, the breakup is happening. I have to tell you, I was told this like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? Whatever it was. I thought it was a non-event.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted it on Twitter. I was like, you know what? Let me post this. The amount of feedback and retweets and likes that it got are bigger or more than when I posted that Adam Cole's going to AEW. He's showing up on that show.
Pretty nuts, right?
Okay? And this is a great indicator to everybody, and I hope it is,
Mm-hmm.
that the way we think, right? The way that we watch wrestling, the way we think.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's a non-event, right? Is that anything to anybody that they're possibly going to do a breakup and feud?
It's predictability. If you've watched wrestling
If
for
you've watched
like
wrestling-
a year, you know it's gonna happen.
You know what's going to happen, and it's like whatever. I don't care. Right?
Yeah.
Let it happen. Let's see what happens. It's just another thing. To these people that commented, this was huge. They were very invested in this. The comments, and these were non-followers, right? These were casual WWE fans. Maybe like just WWE fans, you know what I mean? Like that don't get involved with like anything else. The amount of feedback I got over this was so shocking to me. And it just goes to show you that there's a whole different group of people that watch wrestling in a very different way, that this is like a big angle to them.
Subjective, yeah.
They're very committed to it.
Very invested in Rey Mysterio.
A lot of younger people.
Yes.
A lot of it was generally a younger group of people that were very invested in this.
Mm-hmm.
That were like, oh my god, it got picked up everywhere. This story, it's like major publications picked up the story, and it baffled me a little bit because I'm thinking like this is such a non-event, but it goes to show you how there's another way that people watch pro wrestling. There's another group of us that we have nothing in common.
Well, yeah. Again, my whole take, I tell you this almost every day. You don't know if somebody's 10 or 90.
You really don't know. Huh?
Behind that keyboard.
Behind the keyboard. You don't know.
And you showed me some gnarly shit this morning.
I did. And I have to tell you, like, it's very interesting because the only thing we have in common, you guys in the chat room, for example, in the Twitch chat room, the Wrestling Observer followers, our followers, we view wrestling. The only thing we have in common with these guys is that we're watching the same show.
But are we?
But are we?
Right.
We're not.
I think
we're not watching the same
like,
show. These
are we
guys
watching the same show?
Like invested in it, and the way that they're writing, like it's real.
Yeah.
Like, it's real to them. They this is a major thing, and like the messages, the DMs I got from people about this, like wanting to know more about Rey and the family. Like I was like, wow, this was the first time I experienced that. Very interesting.
It is very fascinating. It's almost like when, years ago we'd make these Roman Reigns jokes or Sasha Banks jokes, and we would get attacked by all the bots.
Yeah. You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want Dominic to get in Ray's face and say something like you want to go, little man? They're gonna do that. Watch.
Oh, that'd be amazing. You know what I want? Do you want Dirty Dominic?
I want Dirty Dominic.
Like he single-handedly make some kind of DX.
No, you're gonna have the line of "You're not my real dad." Right?
Oh.
You were never my real father or something.
Oh my god.
And he can start doing the frog splash as his finish.
Dude, I would love that.
Do all of Ray's stuff. Yeah. And that is a great example of long-term booking that WWE has the opportunity to blow up.
Do you think Vince wants to put tons of Eddie stuff on the TV, and people are like,
I just want Eddie. I want everything with
not
Eddie.
in good taste, sir.
I don't know. I think he's got to do something. Imagine Vicky come. No, Vicky's with AEW. But I mean, that would have been great. This is my real mom.
Oh boy, you're not my real dad.
You're not my real dad. I love it. I freaking love it. You could have. I wish Eddie was my father. You could do one of those.
They could also do another father reveal. Technically, it could be Kurt Angle.
No, man, Vince McMahon. It's Vince. Vince the daddy. The hand is the father.
Vince the daddy.
I'm the father. Ah, come here, boy.
I'm your poppy.
He calls him boy. I'm your poppy.
I'm your poppy. Boy suave. I'm your poppy.
Boy suave. You know what? I'm into that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any people say. SmackDown 2 million.
I'm your suave papicito.
Comes into lowrider. But it's not like a pimped out lowrider. It's just like his Bentley dropped.
I want to see Vince. That Vince looks like Eddie Kingston to me. Like Tim sweatpants, big.
What do you want? A Bronx? You want like a Dykeman Vince McMahon?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I want a Dykeman Avenue Vince McMahon. That's what I want. SmackDown 2 million ratings were down. Dude, that Bloodline stuff is great.
It's the best.
Yeah, New Day got laid out by Bloodline. That was pretty much the whole story. I don't want to rehash that. And then I got an interesting call at 10:30 at night about this. About the releases.
Dude, did you see Roman Reigns? Is that the call you got?
Yeah, that's what they do. Bro, you saw Roman? How sexy is he? That's the funny. Whenever I get the sources that call me, that's how they start the conversation.
You got to tell me how sexy Roman is right now, dude.
That's how I give them scoops. How I get the scoops, I got to tell them constantly how sexy Roman is.
Gotta play by the rules, man.
NXT 603,000 viewers, obviously down after Halloween Havoc. But listen, I think the sixes are fine for these guys. Mid sixes, it's a little low, but if they're sitting in the 650s, fine. Toxic Attraction defeated. Are they the main act now?
I think they're the main act now. They get all the belts. I think this is definitely very interesting. I think people question why Mandy Rose was sent back to NXT, and I think it's working for her. It's working for her. It's working for Gigi Dolan.
Yeah, Gigi's over. People love her.
Very good. So they beat Casey Catanzaro, Kaden Carter, and Io Shirai.
Yeah.
Opening match. Great.
Yeah. That was cool. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah. NXT was good. It was a fun episode.
Let's go into Survivor Series.
Yeah.
They did a social media announcement of the teams for Survivor Series. Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic. But isn't Dominic out?
I don't know. I think is this the beginning of the end? You think Dominic?
No. Dominic lost, and now he's out, and Lashley's in.
Oh, that's right. But Adam Pearce is in.
Adam Pearce is wrestling.
Right.
You know what? I
think Adam Pearce is in.
I don't think so. Is he?
I lost
my brain just stopped.
I lost my mind watching Raw the other day. I couldn't. I was just like, what's happening right now?
All right, is this updated, MG Geek? Please tell me. Or did our producer screw up again? Team SmackDown: Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy. I was gonna say King Hardy because it says King Woods next to it.
King Daddy.
King Daddy. Jeff Hardy. Did Jeff Hardy come back as a weirdo or no? What happened to that?
Where he's been teasing Willow for 10 years.
Didn't he go on Raw and cut a promo? He's like, I'm leaving, but I'm gonna transcend into another being or some shit like that. Well, did I hallucinate that?
No, it was.
Thank you. Lashley's out. Lashley's in. Dom is out. Thank you very much, MG Geek, for not updating your notes.
Oh man.
I thought he was gonna come back as like another weirdo.
Yeah, same here.
I was wishing he would.
Oh, same here.
I want him to get weirder, man.
I want Willow. I want like a gnarly version of Willow.
You know what his gimmick should be? Just performance art. He comes as a canvas, and the wrestlers paint on him.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to get really
That's
weird.
interesting. You know what? I think if that shows up on TV, I'm going to blame you.
Okay, thank you.
The human canvas,
the
Jeff
human
Hardy.
Canvas,
the extreme canvas, Jeff Hardy.
The extreme canvas. Draw on me. That's his whole thing. King Wood, Sami Zayn, and Happy Corbin in a 5-on-5 match. Team Raw for the women's side: Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina versus Team SmackDown of Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and Aaliyah in a 5-on-5.
Great.
Becky versus Charlotte, a Biggie versus Roman Reigns.
Awesome. I'm excited about Biggie versus Roman.
Yeah, man.
It's two bigs colliding.
And listen, Becky versus Charlotte, nice story within.
Absolutely.
Hey, didn't they do the thing with Becky when she got sucker punched at Survivor Series last time? Wasn't that a big part of it?
Yeah.
Like beforehand by Nia?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But it was they made it into like a work, right? So interesting that they're doing it. This kind of happened again.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting it out there. AEW. Eddie Kingston CM Punk confrontation was fantastic. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Very interested by the way that they did that promo because nobody was a good guy or a bad guy in that. It was very real.
It was very real. I enjoyed it. It reminded me of that CM Punk promo on John Cena from 2011 where he calls him the New York Yankees.
Hey, by the way, you were absolutely right. It was that was by design. That was set up to be like that.
Which is pretty cool, Like as soon as I saw that whole thing, besides like my wife cursing at the TV because she doesn't like Eddie Kingston for some reason, it was very organic.
I like that he goes into Tracy Morgan every now and then.
He does go into Tracy Morgan every now and then. It was a very good, heartfelt, you don't know if it's real or not, shoot style promo. And I think this is where we're going to start seeing the CM Punk that everybody wants. Because Tony Khan himself has said that he's holding back on Punk and he's already paid off for the company.
Yeah.
But maybe he hasn't paid off for the fans, quote unquote.
Yeah, interesting, right? I thought that when he got in his face, he's like, nobody wants you here. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants you here. It was... listen, Kingston is great. I it's kind of sad. Did you read the article that he wrote?
Great article.
Okay, go into it a little bit because it was
Fantastic
interesting. He goes
article.
into his family, his upbringing. Like, he goes into a lot of stuff in there.
It's a lot. In a nutshell, he talks about growing up Irish and Puerto Rican in Yonkers and getting into trouble as a kid
Yonkers.
in Yonkers, and then how he overcame all those difficulties, yet still was battling depression, substance abuse, all that stuff, wanting to be a wrestler, almost being pretty much like destitute before AEW gave him the call. And I don't know if you remember this. Like, I don't know. The reason they gave him that call is because he had an indie show. And at that point, apparently, according to that article, he was just wrestling strictly for the money so he could pay his bills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't care. So at the end of that match, this indie match, he starts calling out Zack Sabre Jr., all the different champions. You remember that?
Yeah.
Calls out Cody. He gets a phone call from AEW saying, like, hey, come out on Wednesday. And apparently he was like, how much are you going to pay me? And was so concerned with the payday that after the fact, he was like, holy shit, this was really cool. And then they brought him into the fold, and it like changed his life for the better.
Yeah. Listen, I think he's. It's actually fascinating that we didn't get to see him on a national level, right? But where the hell would he have gone? His entire career began in that 2000s indie boom.
Oh, yeah.
Northeast indie boom. And,
For sure.
A lot of guys got trapped there because WWE wasn't looking at those guys as saying you're the next big star.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. I mean, listen, it just shows you that, there's so many hidden gems everywhere. We've known about Eddie Kingston because we're from New York.
Yeah.
If you followed the Northeast territory at all with indie wrestling, you've heard that name 5 million times.
Yeah.
And everybody knows he's always been fantastic. He did a great thing with LAX in Impact that really got. I thought that was the moment for him because he was so good in that role.
Yeah.
With Conan and everything, just doing that whole thing, he was so fantastic. But really, I mean, it just shows you that WWE has a vision, and some of these guys don't fit that vision. And now we have an opportunity like an AEW for them to go to, which is remarkable that exists.
It's also that interesting vacuum that he came up in where there was no ECW. I guarantee you, if there was still like a traditional ECW, you would have seen Eddie Kingston and Homicide and Amazing Red and like all these East Coast dudes in that promotion.
Listen, 100%. If ECW somehow survived,
Right.
If ECW survived 2001, and some in some possible way, right? In some possible way, continued instead of Ring of Honor would have never happened if ECW didn't go away.
Yeah.
They would have become Ring of Honor. All those guys that you saw in Ring of Honor would have been in ECW, and maybe we would have had a very different discussion today.
I think CM Punk would have been there. Like Samoa Joe for sure would have been there. It's very fascinating to think about that stuff. You know, 2 more years extension on that, 2 or 3 more years extension on that company. These guys would have been there. But because of that vacuum, it took almost 20 years for Eddie Kingston to get that well-deserved limelight.
Yeah. I thought. Listen, I'm hoping that this match goes really well. It's going to be a very interesting match.
I think this is going to be the Punk heel turn, the start of it.
I don't know. Do we need that?
When he was a heel, I would say he was arguably the best heel in the business.
Maybe you start like a he's losing his mind type thing.
Comes out with the urn again.
Comes out with an urn. I want it to just come out with the urn. That's what I want. Dynamite. Good show last night.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Rocky Romero, Dynamite debut, friend of the show, wrestled Bryan Danielson.
So good.
A really good match, huh?
So good.
Great mat wrestling.
Clinic.
They really did a great job. Shout out to Rocky. I messaged him. I said, so great to see you, whatever. Danielson's looking big, huh?
Yeah, dude.
He's putting on some size, some
Wide.
muscle. Yeah, man, he's looking great. Inner Circle, America's Top Team Brawl.
Does great.
Yeah, very good. You want to go into it?
America's Top Team jumps Inner Circle. They lay them out. They say they're going to beat Inner Circle when Dan Lambert pins Jericho. Great go home moment.
And by the way, he put him in the walls, right?
Yeah.
And he screams Boston Crab, and then he yells like 1977 or 75 or something.
74, I think.
74, whatever he yelled.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fantastic. Like he's so good, and he loves wrestling so much. He's such a good heel.
You could tell.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tay Conti, Thunder Rosa, Anna Jay defeated Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel. All right, it was what it was.
That's fun.
Jungle Boy and Anthony Anthony Bowens. Bowens?
Bowens.
Bones. There
Yeah.
you go. I got it right.
Bowens.
I don't know why my brain froze with Max Caster on the outside.
That's an easy name.
I know.
too.
I don't know why.
It's a relatively easy name.
Wardlow apparently wrestled me last night.
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Wheeler Yoda.
You okay, man?
No, I'm malfunctioning. Star Wars on my mind.
I'm gonna call you Wheeler Yoda.
I am Wheeler Yoda. Andrew Yoda.
Andrew
I'm
Yoda.
not Yoda. Leo Rush and Dante Martin. What'd you think of Leo's outfit?
Dude, I love Leo's outfit. I also think so Dante wrestling Lee Moriarty, and this is the subjectivity of wrestling. Dante Martin versus Lee Moriarty in that match. These dudes could do amazing things, right? I think in order to make people love it even more, you need that little bit of aggression, right? Leo Rush jumps into the match. He's doing equally as amazing high-flying, quick dude stuff, but he looks aggressive as F.
Yeah, he does.
And you know what? Great. And you know what? It sucks that this guy's going to retire again next week and then come back the week after that.
Yeah, he's a tremendous worker.
That's great, man. That's great.
Pac defeated Dax Harwood. Great match.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
really good match.
Those guys really beat the shit out of each other.
You know what? Whenever I watch, these guys were WWE guys at one point. That stank is long gone. When you watch these guys, you're like, no, these guys are wrestlers.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're gonna go into the main event of Dynamite, but I want to remind everybody you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zane. You can follow Rich at BTC Rich. We're on Twitter. Kenny Omega Hangman Page contract signing. You know, I hate contract signings.
Same here.
I think they're so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But they did something a little different here. Don Callis was disguised as a cameraman.
very, very elaborate costume. Too.
Very elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
He had the fake goatee and everything. He busted him open, and Kenny signed the contract with Hangman's blood, and that's how they went off the air.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
here are your two options.
Sure. They're in a conundrum, right?
They're in a conundrum. Kenny wins,
Okay.
retains over Hangman,
Okay.
right?
A.
But during that match, Hangman kicks out of the one-winged angel and maintains his strength, right?
Very unique ending. Okay.
Second option, Hangman wins, takes it all.
Hangman wins, takes it all.
It is the pay-per-view named after him.
It is, and you could also protect. It is named after him. Full Gear.
Yeah.
Why? What do
It
you
was
mean?
a BTE joke from years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. I don't really watch BTE. It's hard. I forget. Not that I don't want to watch it. I forget to watch
It's
it.
Monday at noon. You're on the train on the way to work.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
It's like, but I never catch it later, and I wish I would. All right, so here's my issue with this, and I feel like nobody else sees an issue with this, and I'm cool if I'm wrong with this. In chat room, tell me if you feel the same that I do, because I'd love to see what the Twitch chat thinks and what YouTube thinks, but I think that this kind of is like, it's like they booked themselves into a box, right? Because Hangman shouldn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, AEW's very creative. They could pull this off, and what I'm saying is totally irrelevant because I don't know the finish, like how they're going to end this match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what they're going to do exactly. So, Heyman showed up outside a restaurant in full effing gear.
Yes.
That's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Fantastic. Great. FF Beer Money. Thank you for that. So, yes, I do remember that now. Now I remember that. That was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so Hangman wins, right? Let's say Danielson wins. Now you have Danielson as the number one contender for the AEW Championship.
Uh-huh.
I don't think Danielson should lose if he's challenging for the title. Now, Danielson doesn't really have an ego, and he's willing to put the guy over. I know that, but I think that you need to be very protective of those guys. You have 4 guys in that company that I genuinely think you need to book totally properly, and that's CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page.
Okay.
Those are 3 guys that you really cannot screw up. You really shouldn't. Hangman had a stop and go,
Yes.
right? Hangman had that little hiccup where they kind of shifted the attention away, and he was his rebuilding time.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the pandemic kind of stalled Hangman out a little bit.
I agree with that.
I think but he came back. I mean, they love him. Everybody freaking loves this guy. Big
Over.
pop, huge pop, totally over. Great baby face. If he's facing Bryan Danielson for that title at a major show, I'm going to tell you that it's not going to be a good look when that crowd is chanting for Danielson. even if he's a heinous, violent heel.
Could Danielson just take the loss against Miro?
Okay. I don't think so. I don't think he should.
Really?
I don't think he should.
Okay.
I and listen, I love Miro, but I think Danielson needs to stay safe. He's undefeated, and you need to continue that with him.
Okay.
Danielson wins. Now you set this match up. If Hangman loses and Kenny wins, that's the match, right?
Right.
Right? That's going to be the moment.
The rematch.
The rematch for the title with no, time limit or whatever. And you could do that on that mega show, on that first Battle of the Belts.
I do feel like Tony Khan would tease that rematch out for like another year, to be honest with you. Now, who's to say? This is a wild guess here.
Mm-hmm.
What if Don Callis, kayfabe-wise, pays off the Dark Order? They turn on Hangman.
Listen, anything is possible. You could do something cool with
Oh, yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the future babyface should be Hangman of AEW.
I agree with
I
that.
just don't think that a first opponent for him, like a major opponent, should be Danielson. And I don't think the Danielson thing, unless you tease it for a while, you let it sit and he doesn't immediately challenge, and I'm cool with that. You could do that and have some sort of character development where you have, this really competitive match. But if Hangman has a title, he shouldn't drop that title immediately.
Would you be upset if he was a transitionary champion?
I would be very upset by that. Yeah, because he's not. He's not that guy. And they have a great opportunity here to do something tremendous with him. And then you guys, you got. I do think that MJF. We'll go into this card now. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Before, and then by the way, Q&A, guys. Submit your chat questions in the chat room. We're going to do a Q&A segment. We're going to do our mailbag segment at the end of the show. Submit them in the chat, and we'll add them to the notes.
We'll read them. And if you want your chat read, if you want your question read first, please super chat us. Doesn't matter what you do, just super chat us. We'll throw it in. You'll be first answered on this episode of Matt and Men, the podcast.
You like my Tumblr?
I do.
It's a remnants of 2020, of
So
March,
good.
April of 2020, when my wife was selling these.
Love it.
That bitch Carol.
Great.
Those Observer cups got a lot of people loved them.
I got to take mine home.
Yeah, where is it?
I left it in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen. Jess made some really cool custom Wrestling Observer live, little coffee cups.
Those are great, yeah.
All right, here's the card, Rich. You want to go into it?
Yeah. So, this is going to be...
Man, your shot looks fantastic.
Thanks, bud. We're gonna be here Saturday night doing a watch along. It's been a while since we did a watch along. We're gonna be doing a watch along for Full Gear. I'm very excited about that. So you can catch us here. We're gonna be doing it on F4W too, right?
Yes, we're gonna be live on the F4W page, essentially
Great.
on their YouTube, and of course on the F4W YouTube and the Twitch.
So if you like what you're seeing here, please come by on Saturday.
If you like what you see,
If you like what you see, you'll see more on Saturday night. The buy-in: Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter. That's going to be a fun tag. You're getting CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. I think this is going to be a 10-minute hard-hitting match.
Punk takes it or Kingston? Who do you think?
I'm going to say Kingston for the win, dude.
I say Punk takes it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Pac and Cody versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. That's going to be fun.
This was going to be a four-way
yeah.
originally, and they changed it. I guess they want to save that, but it would have been cool with a four-way.
You know what made me giggle yesterday?
What?
It's
Cody trying to run down as fast as he can.
Yes.
And he couldn't make it.
It looked like he started from the top of the arena.
He did.
And he was just like, oh boy.
Well, I think he was like walking. He's like, okay, I'm gonna like lightly jog, and he's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
this is far longer than I thought. And he started running.
It would have been great if it was just like a long shot for like 6 minutes of him just like avoiding everybody's like high fives and shit. That's gonna be a fun match. You have the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. Bryan Danielson versus Miro.
That Miro promo was great. His promos are great, huh?
This is an interesting speculative puzzle piece for wrestling. Because if Miro wins, he'll take the pin whether it's Kenny or Hangman.
What
right?
did he say at the end? He's like, I have to kill you so I could go home and bang my wife or
Something
something
like
like that.
Listen.
Listen, man, Miro's horny for his wife. Love it.
Wrestling
should be.
Wrestling is so horny right now.
Wrestling's so horny.
Minneapolis Street Fight, Inner Circle versus American Top Team. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to
Do you
that.
think Paige Van Zant's going to get involved?
I think she's going to do something with Sammy, and Sammy's going to take like an insane bump because of her.
Okay, cool.
Darby Allin versus MJF.
They're going to kill each other.
That's going to be great.
MJF has to win this one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, can I call something?
Sure.
I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm just doing fantasy booking here. MJF loses, and Wardlow and him have a big falling out at the end.
Okay, cool. You should have been there for me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Wardlow teams up with Darby and Sting.
Wasn't Wardlow supposed to wrestle CM Punk?
At one point.
Wasn't that on the sheet?
Oh, interesting. You have the Super Click versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express.
Oh, we didn't mention the Bobby Fish thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's no dispute here. Great line.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think they're going to do there?
I don't know, man. I think they're going to wait until Kyle O'Reilly comes
And
over.
they're going to join the Super Click. You know what?
Yeah.
If they added them, it would be a nice little element there.
You think so?
I think so. I think if they added that, their tag team division is stacked.
Oh, ridiculous.
You know, it is ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with everything, to be honest.
I'm okay with most things.
Yeah. AEW Women's World Championship, Britt Baker versus Tay Conti.
Baker has to take this.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to show up there. Okay? I'm going to show up there.
In Minneapolis?
Yeah, I'm going to
Are we
get
going
front
to
row.
Minneapolis?
Yeah. You want to go? Let's
Okay,
go.
let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Okay? And I'm going to take this. And with Tay Conti, I'm gonna this is Britt Baker's boot that she wore. I don't know when she wore this. When did she wear this?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Maybe when she won the title?
Mm.
When Tay Conti, I'm gonna go bah! And I'm gonna help Britt Baker win.
And then just put it in your shirt.
And I'm gonna put it down my shirt.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
Tony Khan's gonna get very upset with me.
AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Lucha Bros versus FTR. I'm very much looking forward to this match. I think this is going to be a barn burner.
Oh yeah, FTR's been on fire, and Lucha Bros are fantastic. This is gonna be a great match.
AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus the Hangman Adam Page, not related to
Diamond Dallas
Page or Ethan Page
or Ethan Page. There's
the
a
Page
lot of
boys.
pages. The Page, you know what? We should have that moment. We should have all the pages and then Page,
and then Page. Yeah,
all the pages.
Are we gonna get Cages too?
Cages
Christian
too.
Cage.
Yeah, Christian Cage.
Brian Cage.
Nick Gage.
And
Yeah.
Nick Cage. What am I doing here?
Where am I?
What am I doing?
What was that movie where aliens were like messing with his brain, and they took over the town, and everything became purple? I watched that ridiculous movie.
The Color of Night. It was great.
Was that it?
I think so. It was based on.
He lived on a farm. Yeah, he lived on a farm. I watched that insane movie.
That was a remake of the same. That was a remake of a weirdo German movie that was based on an H.P. Lovecraft book story. Hey man. Your
AJ Styles is the same.
It is true. That is true.
Faustino, $20.
Thanks, man. He loves my Elvis impression.
Back at it again, boys. Looking forward to this weekend. What are the chances a Super Click turns on Kenny when they lose to Hangman? I think they're all going to lose, right? That has to happen. They all have to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So who do you think takes it, man? Kenny or Hangman? Tough, right?
Booking. If we take Bryan Danielson out of this, right? Let's remove that whole he could possibly be the number one contender, or Mir. Let's remove Bryan Danielson. I would say there has to be Hangman 100%. This is the moment for him, unless they have some sort of big surprise. You know,
I do think they will have a big surprise.
Listen, you look at the match, and I this is a stacked card, obviously, and there are people that are available, right?
Yes. How about some fanboy shit? Like, what if there's like a no contest because of interruption from Wyndham?
I mean, that's a possibility. Anything.
Zip line. This guy comes out on a zip line. He's on fire.
No, I want to like Shawn Michaels, like in the HBK gear.
Oh,
I want to see Bray Wyatt in the HBK gear doing the whole thing.
Hell yeah!
You know what? He could probably do a great job because his Eric Bischoff was fantastic when he did the NWO stuff.
Yes.
You know what? I have to tell you, I very much enjoyed that John Cena in the Bizarro match in the Void. And I'm the only freaking one. Nobody liked that match.
Well, besides, I think we're the only one.
We're the only one. You liked it too. You loved that one.
Loved it.
I really enjoyed that crazy, bizarre, like trip down memory lane thing. And you know what? I give kudos to WWE. It worked for me.
They actually did something fun.
Yeah.
You have creative guys involved.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this watch along Saturday at 7 p.m. We're going to be on all the F4W channels. Every single one of them.
Every single F4W one.
We're going to be on all our channels. Every single one of them.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have, actually, we won't have a lot of guests because everybody is in Minneapolis.
Yeah. But you know what? They're going to be in the arena watching us on their cell phones.
That's what, Denise told me already. Denise told me that she's not going to be watching the show, just watching us. By the way, Denise is right there. Hi, Denise. Where's Denise?
You answered the that age-old question.
Of where's Denise? Denise
Where's
is right here.
Denise?
You know what? I trapped her.
Oh, it's like Dorian Gray style.
Yeah. I trapped her in that photo.
So this ages, but she doesn't.
This ages, but she doesn't.
Oh,
She's
man.
trapped in the photo. Her eyes follow you everywhere.
Are you a witch doctor?
I am a witch.
All right.
I am the witch. I am the observer at this point.
You are the wrestling observer.
You know, Dave Meltzer does that with his favorite wrestlers.
Oh, get outta here.
Yeah, after they have like a 18-star match, he just goes zap, and they become like entrapped in a photo.
Did he give you those powers?
He gave me those powers.
gave you the spooky
transferred
powers?
them to me.
And
But
this
I did not.
Sunday, you can catch Andrew on Wrestling Observer Live from 6 to 8 p.m. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Uh,
Q&A time, right?
Yes, Zerp.
Let's do it. Questions, submit them.
Matt Reichel, I read this at the top of the show, but I'll read it again. Hey, Andrew and Rich, can't listen live because of work. What are the odds we get UE minus Roddy versus the Elite in 2022? I think so.
If Roddy leaves,
Yeah.
I don't
Without
know.
Roddy.
Oh, it's very possible.
Bobby Fish,
Very-
Kyle O'Reilly,
Yeah, very possible.
Adam Cole,
Very
baby.
possible.
Adam Cole's going to be over no matter what,
Yeah.
right? And I think people want to see that UE reunion in a weird way, isn't it? It's like they had something so great with that group.
And it was a long-term act.
Yes.
First time it lasted. They teased the breakup, initially. It took a while to separate those guys.
Mhm. All right, we're going to hit some questions right now, guys. Jonathan, what's The Rock's involvement for Survivor Series?
I left that out. I forgot to bring that out. So, a lot of speculation as to what's happening. Obviously, it's the 25th year anniversary of The Rock's debut. He's doing some press. He said that the rumors were not true of him wrestling at this year's WrestleMania. I could tell you that internally, the rumors were very true. They were making it work. Whether or not it happens still or doesn't happen, it's up to them on when they do. But they are doing it. I mean, they are going to do this match. Whether it's this year or next year, it's happening. There's a lot of variables with Dwayne and getting him on to do a match. The liability alone is astronomical that the company has to take out insurance on him. So, I mean, when you have the number one blockbuster guy, imagine he just does it and he's like, by the way, I'm running for president.
Dude, imagine like that's the end of the match. Like,
And the balloons come down.
he stands on Roman. He's like, now that you've smelled what The Rock is cooking, I'm running for president. And then he runs out.
And he just
I'm running for president. He's like, real quick, I'm running for president. Would you vote for The Rock?
It depends if he fits,
Fits your narrative?
what I think fits my narrative, my wacky narrative of politics. Yeah, I guess so.
It's so good.
Listen, maybe a video package, maybe something. The last I heard is that they're going to do something. They were very close to getting him in there.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much I was told that he is going to be there. This came from somebody within WWE that's been right about many other things.
Yeah.
So, things change, pal, and it does change.
It's also
I mean, that's
like,
the reality of it. Cardi B's another great example. She was supposed to be the host of WrestleMania, but she got pregnant.
yeah. She got like really pregnant really quick.
She got pregnant, she was 9 months pregnant, the day that they announced
It was like Alien.
immediately, boom.
Gestated. Tim Anger, do we have more than just next year's WrestleMania on 2 nights for you to eat your shirt? Like, does the following WrestleMania have to be on 2 nights?
I could tell you that they were very adamant that they didn't want to do 2 nights this year. So something changed, and it obviously has to do with logistics with finance. It's a financial thing. Optics wise, do you think that this year's card would be able to draw 100,000 people in that stadium?
Interesting.
Considering the fact that we're still not over the whole pandemic. There's still people that now that tourism is back.
Yeah.
I think that this is changing the discussion. I think both nights will be very, very high in attendance.
Yes.
Whether or not it's 100,000 a night, I don't know. I don't believe so. Pre-sale tickets go on sale on Friday, by the way.
Oh, fantastic.
So, and also these ratings, 1.5 million. If they keep slipping, WWE's going to have to do something big. Also, Austin has to be the host, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Steve has to be the host.
Yes.
I'm hearing word that Taker might be involved in some way.
He should be the host.
He should be there too. Of course, Taker should be there.
Shawn Michaels, all the Texas guys.
All the Texas
JBL,
guys. Mago!
Mago.
Isn't that a good JBL?
Pretty
Mago.
good. Stephen Prasad asks, good morning, gentlemen. If Malachi Black were to create a stable in AEW, who would you add to it?
I would have everybody be non-spooky.
And he'll be the spooky guy?
And he'll be the most like, and he's trying to like train them to become spooky.
That's funny. So a comedy angle.
Comedy angle, yeah.
I'd lean into the spooky, and it would be him, Darby, if Bray Wyatt ever came over, Wyndham Rotunda. And I'll throw a curveball in there, Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson. That he teaches him how to
Do you want to
spooky.
see a spooky Daniel Bryan?
I'd love to. I want to see spooky everybody, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like spooky MJF, spooky Jericho,
It's like the undead. It's like an alternate world.
spooky Wardlow. I'd be
Yeah.
happy with. Spooky Eddie Kingston. I would love spooky Eddie Kingston.
Doodoo Pampers.
When the doodle papers.
You like my Tracy Morgan?
Great.
Doodoo Pampers. Doodoo Pampers. I first time I heard him say Doodoo Pampers, I died.
Mhm.
I think it was on Stern. He just randomly said it too. How he's like, "Yo, Howard." He goes, "Doodoo Pampers." I died. I fucking rolled over.
Okay, Johnny. Excuse me.
Who the hell's Johnny?
Okay, Johnny asks, will the Elite kick out Omega? What should Omega do afterwards, if so?
A lot of people think that it should be that they should kick Kenny out.
Nah, that's long term, man. That shit ain't happening
By the
for
way-
a long time.
In the tweet, Abaddon, Butcher, and Blade. That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
Oh, Abaddon. She's spooky.
Yeah, she's very spooky.
She's very spooky when she bleeds out of her mouth.
She's too spooky for spooky Eddie
I have to
Kingston.
tell you, I love like how disturbed I get by her.
Yeah.
She is. She's
You're
very
into it?
disturbing. Yeah, I'm into it.
You
I
know,
am.
that
Yeah.
Gives you the
Yeah. I love it. I'm big into spooky.
yeah, I don't think Kenny's gonna get kicked out by the dudes.
No, I think that's part of the story that they're falling apart a little bit, and they got to regain the gold and all that stuff. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, you might lose your mind. What if this is leading to Okada and Kenny? You take
Oh.
the title off of Kenny, and now you open up Okada to come in and have a non-title match.
Keep the title on Kenny and have Okada come in with his title.
Hey,
and then they smush.
and you know what? Even though
Mhm.
we've seen that match three times, right?
Mhm.
First one was a first one. Who won? Okada won. Second
Okada.
one was a draw. Third one, Kenny won.
Yes.
And then the fourth one, was it 4? God, I forgot.
So I'm gonna
Everybody in the chat thinks Kenny's getting kicked out. Interesting.
I'm gonna give you the chills,
Yeah.
right? Kenny and Okada happen on AEW,
Okay.
right?
Fantasy booking.
That fantasy booking. Then that's when Kenny gets kicked out. Kenny loses to Okada. That's when Kenny gets kicked out of the Super Elite,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okada standing there, extends his hand,
Shakes it.
picks up Kenny. Okada and Kenny versus the Bucks.
You know what? I'm kind of into that.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. You know, I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to get kicked out at all. But I think it'd be interesting. Okay, Okada won the first. Second was a draw. Third was Omega. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Lenny, in the chat. So you have the fourth one, and I think a lot of the
Yeah.
question here will be: is this the same Kenny Omega? Has he lost the step since coming to America?
Right.
He's not wrestling like that anymore. He's he took some time to settle down into
Yeah.
more of a character. And kudos to Kenny, by the way. We people have criticized him on his promo ability.
Uh-huh.
He's really worked hard on the promos. It's a very different
Mhm.
delivery, different character, which I'm always for Evolution. By the way, I got to do my ballot. I got to submit my Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame ballot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, Kenny and Okada as the most dominating tag team of all time.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think Okada's showing up at full gear or anything.
Warriors.
Like I don't, because he can't. He's wrestling, but I think like a nice surprise that this leads to could be a nice story to tell. Interesting.
I'm gonna move on to. We're gonna take some questions from Twitch now. FF Beer Money writes, "I have a question for Andrew.
Yes.
So much is made about ratings,
Yes.
demo, etc. I believe you and Meltzer have both said it's all about the content and not so much ratings anymore. And as much as people bring up WWE's declining ratings, I still feel WWE will get double its TV rights money as NBC and Peacock seem so invested in WWE.
All right, Rich is
Your
going to take a
thoughts?
snap now while I explain. I know. The numbers stuff.
Ugh.
The ether. I pumped the ether up in the studio, but only towards him. Okay. Who do ratings matter to, right? Who does viewership matter to? Who does demo versus total viewership matter? In reality, guys, all that it should matter to is an indicator that your product is possibly working to
Mhm.
the brand and the sales team. And the network. That's all that this is for. It's these ratings are for sales. When we're talking about the 18 to 48 mattering more than the overall demo,
Mhm.
that's determined by what's your key demo for your station. If
Yeah.
you're on a station that caters, here's a great thing. CBS caters to a much older number with blue bloods and all that stuff, right? They don't care about the 18 to 34, 18 to 48 for that block,
Yeah.
because the demo number is a much older audience. So if you are on a station that's catering younger, you really don't want your overall demo to be higher in the older number. You want it to
Right.
fit the narrative of the station. For sales reasons, the fact that people are arguing online, laymen, civilians arguing online that are out of the I find it bizarre, and it's not really an indicator of which product is better. It's not an indicator of which is doing better.
Mhm.
We all know WWE has a 50-year head start, 60-year head start over anybody else. They're always going to be the dominant force unless something tragically goes wrong with that company,
Right.
which I don't see that happening. When we're talking about these numbers, however, ratings are not the end-all be-all. How come we're not talking about DVR plus 3? Those numbers aren't readily available as much because they're not sexy.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't matter to the sales team as much when you're talking about DVR numbers. How about 7-day DVR numbers, total viewership? How about if you combine everything? Nielsen is not the end all be all. That's not the only metric that's involved here. You look at YouTube viewership, you look at all this stuff, and I will tell you, AEW is nowhere near WWE's level. Okay, when it comes to global recognition. They're not on the same level. We love it. I love AEW. One day, possibly, maybe. Not today. Are they doing a better product overall? It depends on what you want to watch. SummerSlam was a realization to me. It was an eye-opening moment to me. When we're sitting there at Survivor Series, and I turned to Rich and I said, oh my God, I get it now. This isn't pro wrestling anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, it hasn't been for a long time, but this was the moment for me for seeing I view it in a different lens now. It is a variety show. It is aspects of everything put in to garner the most amount of eyeballs from everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they are a machine. They want continuous growth from everywhere. Involving a Cardi B brings in a different viewership than involving another celebrity and bringing in this match and these key people on TV. There's so much analytics and forecasting that goes into WWE.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. Also, different interests, different partners have different creative input and different recommendations. Mattel wants you to push a cage match, a Shark Tank match.
Mm-hmm.
A cage. Was that a Shark Tank? The Shark Cage. The Shark Cage match. Because they're gonna sell the toy.
Right.
War Games was a great design for toys.
Ambrose Asylum.
Huh?
The Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah, the asylum with the potted plant that they're going to sell. The car that Braun smashes. AEW has a different philosophy. Not saying one is right and one is wrong. They have very different intentions for a different type of viewership. So when WWE is doing anywhere, when they SmackDown, for example, could get about 5 million eyeballs on the product.
Mm-hmm.
I was told it could have been that first SmackDown or whatever. One of the key big SmackDown. It had like almost 7 million people that watched it at some point.
Yeah.
AEW's not doing that. And they're not going to do that for a while because it's a different product. It's a different product that caters to a very different group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will they get there? I think they will. I think they're on the right track, but I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm watching. I enjoy it, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't enjoy either.
Right.
That AEW does. That's not my cup of tea. Same thing with WWE. I'm very neutral with this stuff.
Right,
I like what
right.
I like. I don't like what I don't like. I don't dwell on the negative. I'll mention it here. I'll talk about it here a little bit, but I don't let it affect my. But I don't have like a bias towards a company. That's silly.
Yeah. It is silly.
It's really weird. But at the end of the day, I do think WWE is very heavily in bed with Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I think Peacock very much likes that they're there because they're first run live programming regularly for them, and it gives them a different element. However, TV rights deals are going to be very different for the next signing, and it's an indicator of how television is shifting. So if the networks are happy and they feel that this prevented a major drop in numbers for them, they'll be happy. If not, I think, as far as I know, and I'll say this, when speaking to people at NBC, they're not like, oh, these ratings suck for NXT. They kind of want to be in that range of 650 to 750 for this. They understand what they're doing. They understand it's not going to be, a million viewer product. And there's not too much negativity about the ratings. I don't hear any negativity about the ratings, to be honest, unless they start plummeting. So, I mean, just a little indication, a little insight as to how this works. When you're arguing about demos, like people are arguing over what the demo was, like why do you even care? Like this only matters to your sales team.
Right.
That's what it's used for. So listen, it's fun. People want to argue. That's fine. But it is what it is.
That's a very meaty answer.
Thank you. Sorry.
Where am I?
Where am I?
Can I pitch a show? Because we're doing we want to do, to let you a little inside baseball. We want to do a bunch of weird shit for our Patreon, and I want to pitch one show.
Yeah, give me
10-minute segment.
Okay.
Once a month.
Okay.
Andrew Zarian.
Okay.
Horny for numbers.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
That's the name of
That's
it.
it.
And you just go as deep as a deep dive as you can into numbers.
I got to bring Brandon Thurston in for that.
Great.
By the way, he's coming on the show. I'm going to do an interview with him. You could be here if you want. I know that.
Thanks, Andrew.
No, because it's numbers, it's analytics. You want to be here for that? You want us to talk about
Thanks, Andrew.
Ratings?
Could be here now.
We're going to compare it to the ratings of Dallas.
Like the show, like
the
JR.
Show, yeah, like JR. We're going to compare it to like Knots Landing in Dallas and see what the demos were for them.
We got a couple more super chats
Let's
here.
do it.
Estilo Latino, $4.99. Thank you very much. So, are Gallows and Anderson done with AEW for now?
I don't know. That's a great question. I know that they're. I would say I expect to see them again.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just like a break from TV or whatever.
It's just a little break.
Yeah.
I think that's what Tony said also, right?
Yeah. We got Joel Wood, $4.99. Thanks, bud. Wrestling by itself doesn't sell. Entertainment by itself doesn't sell. Promos by themselves don't sell. When you put those together, that sells.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna jump around a little bit. As from Pratik, hey Andrew, where's Ronda Rousey? When is she coming back?
I mean, she just had a baby. She's nursing. I know that she has said that she will not do another full schedule. She won't do like a full TV schedule, but she'll maybe do like a match if it's interesting to her. Listen, you have a couple matches there that you really could do, and the main one is the Becky match that we never got, that singles Becky match. I would love to see that. I think WWE would love to see that. I think a lot of people would love to see that. It's a matter of when they could figure it out. Ronda, she's a star, top to bottom. Regardless if you like her personally, you think she's wacky. It does not matter. At the end of the day, she was a big draw for them.
Oh, for sure.
Like reality-wise, the mainstream crossover that came in from Ronda Rousey was really big. So same thing with Bad Bunny.
For sure.
Can I tell you in that Rey Mysterio post that I made?
Yeah.
The chat, it was there was a whole large group of people that watch Raw, that watch WWE, that all I saw in the comments were like, when is Bad Bunny coming back?
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for him to wrestle again. He's really good. Bad Bunny needs to come back. It was the most weird things that they were into that was a non-event for us. It's not to them, Bad Bunny wrestling was such a mega deal because it's much younger.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a much younger, a whole different side of wrestling. Whole different side.
What if it's
they're not jaded yet?
Right. What if it's Ray turning heel and he's like, Dominic, you were never my son.
And brings out Bad Bunny.
This is my real son, and it's Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
And then you have Dominic and Bad Bunny go at it.
I want
with
Booker T
Ray
to be his son.
on the cake. Oh, so
no,
good.
I want Bad Bunny to be Booker T's son. That's what I want.
We got Spooky Guys in AEW,
Yeah.
and we got who's son in WWE. I love it. All right, we're gonna do a few more questions here. This is from Cryomancer Maurice
Okay,
on
great name.
Twitch.
Wonderful, thank you.
Great, Cryomancer Maurice. Be careful. If Miro beats Danielson, do you believe with the Chaos connection to Best Friends and Okada name-dropping Bryan, he faces Okada on Dynamite and goes over as a consolation for Miro?
No.
So Miro loses. Miro wins.
Okay. And then,
Okada goes over.
And then Danielson goes over Okada.
Yes.
I don't think because it doesn't affect the story. I think now, and I said this on Observer Live on Sunday. You can check me out again this Sunday.
Yeah.
Joel Pearl in the chat room. Which train will Andrew rush to make today? I'm getting on the 12. What am I going to get on?
12.
Oh, shit. We're running out of time.
12:21.
12:23. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Andrew Zarian, Long Island Railroad rider. Let's find out what train I'm going to get on.
Mhm.
Thank you for derailing me because I have no self-control with this. I'm going to get on the 12:27 in 38 minutes.
Great.
I could also get on the 12:57.
So we'll leave soon.
Okay, thank you. Gary says the 11:57.
Instagram. This is from Joffer 1988.
Yeah.
Which sticks out to you when you see a wrestler for the first time? Quads, pecs, or abs?
Oh man, great.
This is a
question.
horny Andrew question.
So I have
Horny for bodies.
I have a weird thing about calves because I told the story how I come
Really?
from a bodybuilding family.
Okay.
And I have fantastic calves. And my grandfather, every year for Thanksgiving, because this is how you generate body dysmorphia in children. Just want to let you know. My grandfather was a real deal pro bodybuilder. The dude, Wrestling AI on Twitter, you know who I'm talking about? That does he takes like an older photo that's like really messed up and he restores it with AI into like very high def.
Yeah.
He restored my grandfather's photo for me. And it's one of the nicest things anybody's ever freaking done in my life. My grandfather was, I mean, really the patriarch in my family. Like everybody loved him. One of the sweetest human beings in the world. But he was a big jacked up, bodybuilder. I was gonna say steroid guy. He never did steroids.
He was a steroid.
Borderline steroid. I mean, you look at him, you're like, this guy is definitely on something. But there were no steroids. I mean,
yeah,
he was a bodybuilder in the 1950s. It wasn't very common. He was obsessed with calf muscles. And he says that it's one of those things that you're born with genetically. And if he had calf muscles, he would have been a bodybuilder in America. He would have been the biggest bodybuilder in America. And we'd go to my cousins and tell them they have chicken legs and make me pose my thighs and my calves.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was every
fascinating.
It was a Thanksgiving tradition in my house.
So for a new debut, basically, you're saying you just hone in on the dude's calves.
Dude, I'm big on physique. I got to tell you, I'm a body guy.
You are a body guy.
I am, and I think that it goes a long way. And I don't care. Like, listen, man, you don't have to be a bodybuilder to be a great wrestler, but it does go a long way.
Body guy, island boy, get you a man who could do both.
And tan, you got to be tan.
Oh.
I want Hogan-esque. I want Savage. I watched the match. It was Hogan versus Savage on Nitro. Okay, and I'm looking at them, and I was trying to find what tone they are and how long you need to. It's a the color is leather mitt. It's baseball mitt, right? It's a leather baseball mitt. That's
Straight
the
up.
color. How often are you tanning to get to that point?
I think I'm going to pitch another Patreon exclusive show for you. How about this? The Tan Jam with Andrew Zarian. And you will go over the most tannest matches in pro wrestling. So it's Hogan versus whoever, and just like, geez, who's the more tan in this?
Hogan has to win most consistency. Like he never faltered. He never got like a pasty white Hogan.
He never wavered.
He never wavered on that tan. He continued to look like a hot dog entire career.
Relentless tan.
And I'm not saying that as a knock at Hogan at all. Like that wrestle buddy that I have, he never looked like that.
No, he was
that
never
white
that pale.
guy does not exist in the WWE universe. That guy was never that white.
That's Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea's a white guy, but Hulk Hogan.
We got $4.99 from Joel Wood. Again, thanks, man. I'm already expecting Kyle O'Reilly to leave, but do you think Owens and Gargano leave? Seems weird that they're investing so much in an Owens heel turn.
I don't know. FF Beer Money, by the way. Savage versus Hogan, WrestleMania 5. Savage was more tan. I got to check this out.
Ooh.
Thank you for that. Deep dive right here.
This is from Maj Raju. Hey, Rich and Andrew, question. How do you guys feel about Tony D'Angelo?
Okay, I got to see what they do. It could get really borderline cheesy, you know? You know what I don't like? The name. I don't like Joe Gacy. I don't like his name.
You think he should be called Joel Pearl?
I just think of Wayne Gacy.
Well, that's John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. That's what I think.
That's the impetus.
I don't want that though. I want to call him Gracie. I don't know why. In my mind, I want to call him Joel Gracie.
We got a Twitter question from Supersonic X. When do we see Asuka on TV again? When will we see her return to? Will we see her at Survivor Series? Or the Royal Rumble?
Was she hurt?
I think so.
I don't know. I thought she was a little banged up. I have no idea. I haven't followed up on that.
All right, let's see what else we got here. We got another Instagram question.
Okay.
Any idea on what anyone is doing after Survivor Series? I think that's more of a local question. Are we going to Survivor Series?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I'd rather do a show.
Mm-hmm. We're just gonna do the watch along.
It depends.
Yeah,
If what I was told actually were to possibly happen or not happen, which I'm not going to go into.
Okay.
Because I have no inkling if it is.
Chocolate Thunder.
Okay.
You don't think that Brian and Punk created a working shift?
What does that mean?
I think meaning like within the company.
Yeah, I got flies flying around here.
Grab that question.
I think they created a shift for AEW. I mean, they brought them a lot more people. Forget about these numbers. Everybody's looking like a lot. Some people were saying like, oh, they're down 400,000 viewers from that time. That was a peak moment. That was a blockbuster moment with what was going on. It's and also, by the way, you look at numbers. I'm going to give a little insight here. Forget about what you get this week or last week. It's a 6-week trend that you should be concerned about.
Okay.
When television is looking at this, they want the 6-week trend is very telling of what's happening with normal consistency. AEW switched nights a bunch of times. SmackDown, like people are like, oh, SmackDown's numbers were a little low. Yeah, because they were on FS1 tonight, the week before. That impacts your numbers. It changes because it's out of sight, out of mind very quickly with television. AEW going to TBS, there's going to be another dip. Maybe they'll get a big pop the first night, but there's going to be another dip. They're going to have to rebuild a new audience on a new channel.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how many people just watch what's on TV. They just stay and they watch that because it's on. So, look at a 6-week number. Go ahead.
Going back to the tan thing, we got a little insight here from a very familiar sounding name from Brian Heffron in the chat room. Hello, Brian. A lot of guys with tan using baby oil and iodine to get a darker tan.
Is that Blue Meanie? Our boy
Is
Blue
that Blue
Meanie?
Meanie?
Meanie, are you going to be in New York? Are you going to the big event? Because if you're, I'll stop by.
That just sounds gross, dude.
The big event?
No, baby oil and iodine?
Iodine. Oh, dude, that's a great trick. And listen, is the condition in the hair, right? That's another one.
Oof. All right. We got
Blue Meanie, the nicest man in the world. Can I just tell you? Everybody that I know that knows him says the same exact thing. He's the nicest man in the world.
Yes. I met him in passing when we did that interview.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Fantastic, dude.
Thanks, Brian. That's that insight I'll be thinking about all day, by the way.
So how long does it take to come off? Because I want to do that. You want to dye me with baby oil and iodine? We could do it.
He's not coming to New York.
Okay.
Do you want to try that? You want to see what happens?
Yeah, let's just see
baby
what
oil
happens.
and iodine? What if you just started burning?
Huh?
What if you just started burning like a vampire in the sunlight?
That's how I'm taken
and
away.
you're just like, Rich, make it stop.
Yeah.
And you just disintegrate like a bag of bones or something.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the hell I would do. Let's see what we got here, guys. This is from Instagram. Who shows up first to AEW, Okada or Ibushi? A lot of Okada talk today.
A lot of Okada talk.
A lot of Okada talk.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue.
So dismissive.
I don't know anymore. You know what that question now is going to become the new. When is Raw getting a new set? When is WWE going to start using a new set?
Why is it 3 hours?
Can I tell you? I hate that question. I want to kill myself every time I hear that. I'm over it.
So they hinted at Ibushi, right?
A while ago,
like last night.
Oh, did they?
I think so.
I wasn't listening with the volume.
Yeah, I remember what happened to you last night.
Yeah. Andrew made a mistake last night. He mistaken something for something else.
Jeff, you want to take one more?
I could take a couple more.
Let's take a couple more.
Okay.
Jeff Samuel. Hey, Andrew and Rich, question. How do you guys feel about Jamie Hayter? Do she has potential as women's champion? Do she has potential as women's champion?
Do she has?
Yeah, I think she do.
I think she do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Can I tell you my favorite Blue Meanie moment? Can I tell? And this is God's honest truth.
Go ahead.
I loved Meanie doing the Goldust spoof.
Oh yeah.
Blue Dust was one of my favorite things in the world. Like the ECW one was cool, but even on Raw,
Yeah.
I was so into the Blue Meanie stuff. I've always been into the Blue Meanie stuff, and I don't know why. Like it was great. It was fantastic, but like I was a little too into it.
I could see that.
I would blue myself regularly.
Was this the lead up to that joke?
Yeah, that was
It's a good setup.
Yeah.
My wife loved the Blue Meanie because she's a huge Beatles fan, like the biggest Beatles fans on.
Not you though. You hate the Beatles.
I love the Beatles. I'm just not the biggest.
Happiness
Beatles fan.
is a warm gun. Best song. Favorite song.
Yeah. It's too many to name.
I got to get a new Blue Meanie shirt. By the way, go to ProWrestlingTees.com if you want a BWO shirt. I love seeing the BWO shirts because we're friends with Stevie also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
My buddy Michael Manna. So go check it out. ProWrestlingTees.com. Check out Meanie's store.
This is from Pratik. Hey, Andrew and Rich, do you want to see The Undertaker become WWE champion on Raw?
No. I don't want to see him with another. I don't want to ever see him.
You don't want to see him in a ladder match?
I never want. You know what? I want to see him in a ladder match. What's a match that? Give me a match that you want to see the Undertaker in. That's so bonkers.
I want to see him debut in AEW as the Grave Grumper.
The Grave Grumper.
The Grave Grumper. And then it's like all ladder matches. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Just like straight up ladder matches.
I want to see Ibushi and Undertaker in New Japan. That's what I want to see.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. AEW have no interest in the man now known as Hollywood Hulk Wyndham, do they?
Excuse me?
AEW have, this is from Joe. AEW have no interest in the man known as Hollywood Hulk Wyndham, do they? Because apparently he signed onto some like production this past
Oh
week.
yeah, he's doing a movie.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to speculate on Wyndham. There's stuff that I was told as to why he's not wrestling. There's a lot of speculation as to what he's doing, when he's doing, how he's doing. Listen, at the end of the day, I reported what I was told from WWE. All right, so from a source there, not in an official matter, but what was said to me, I posted. A lot of other people have kind of gone into this. Some people told me that it's absolutely not true what I had said, but I could only say coming from the source that's been pretty accurate with a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of speculation, but it's not a. I'll tell you this: the whole Wyndham, the Bray Wyatt release thing. It's not a cut and dry. This is the reason, and financial reasons is utter total bullshit.
Nonsense.
Maybe. Listen, you want to say obviously there's a financial element. You're cutting. I mean, you're gonna save money. But all right, we got 2 more questions, and then we gotta go.
Joel Wood, another $4.99. Thanks again, bud. Who is the brightest young star right now in WWE, and why is it Braun Breaker?
If you're talking about on the NXT side, definitely Braun Breaker. He's the one with a ton of upside. They're gonna give him the John Cena treatment.
24 years old. He looks mean as F. You know,
I just think he needs to be a Steiner.
Yeah.
I mean that's. He looks like a Steiner. He talks like a Steiner. He acts like a Steiner. Why the hell are you calling him a breaker?
Right.
I can't wait to see Rick Breaker on TV when he shows up to help his son, Braun. Can you imagine if that's what they do? Oh, that's his father, Rick Breaker. He wrestled.
Oh my God, he wrestled. Do you think who wrestles? Do you think Braun Breaker calls Scott Big Papa Unk?
Big Papa Unk, Scott Steiner. I love that. Love that. You know what? You are the king of those like weird names. You're the king of that.
I appreciate that.
You're great with that.
Thank you, Andrew. Elijah Washington asks, Rich and Andrew, what I find interesting is that Adam used Lashley to take out Dom, but also Adam's feud is with Brock Lesnar. Do we see a potential showdown with these two? I find it interesting. Adam Pearce.
I would love to see an Adam Pearce match, dude.
Oh, same here.
And we're not going to get it. I don't think they want him to wrestle like a wrestler, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, FF Beer Money, he wins at the end of the day. Undertaker versus Nick Gage, GCW.
Oh, hell yeah. You know what? I think The Undertaker's the one dude that GCW crowd won't turn on.
No way. You can't turn on him.
Yeah, you can't turn on The Undertaker.
But I want him in full Undertaker gear.
Like, entrance.
Eating light bulbs. Eating the fucking light bulbs.
Oh, my God. Like, well, I think that very, very low, not a taxing match. Yeah. Undertaker just gets hit with every single thing and then just sits up.
Fantastic.
Light tube sits up.
Dude, we did an hour-and-a-half show today.
Yes.
Awesome. This is a lot of fun. All right. Anything else before we break up forever, Rich and I? Ending this marriage.
MG Geek added to the Braun Breaker conversation. Why is Solo Sikoa not an Uso? It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. Why isn't maybe? I don't know.
He's gonna be an Uso. Future Uso right there. Bloodline, dude. They need that extra Uso.
Maybe when he comes to the main roster, because NXT doesn't matter. Anything you do on NXT means nothing.
That is true.
So it is possible that Braun Breaker goes to the main roster and they decide to call him a Steiner. It is all possible.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Anything else before I wrap this up? No.
It looks like that.
Where's Brock Lesnar going to return?
Yeah.
He's going to go everywhere. Whoever they decide that they're going to have the match with. I think that's it. All right, guys. So listen. This weekend, Saturday, 7 p.m. East, on the Matman channel, on the F4W YouTube and the F4W Twitch channel. We'll be live with our watch along.
Mhm.
We're going to hang out. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll watch a pay-per-view on a Saturday night. We'll take some phone calls. Phone lines will be open.
Yes.
For Saturday, we'll be doing that.
Can't wait.
Maybe we could get somebody to call in from the building.
Like this building?
From this building, yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to have Jess call us
That would be
while we're
cool.
doing the show. We could do something we're going to do something cool on Saturday. We'll watch the pay-per-view. We'll hang out, have a couple drinks. So I encourage all you guys to watch with us. We keep it fun.
Uh-huh.
It's always a lot of fun, these watch-alongs. Also, Sunday, I'll be back with Wrestling Observer Live from 6 to 8 p.m. I have no co-host or guest for this week. So I'm going to figure it out. I think we'll open up the phone lines a little bit. We'll take phone calls in the second half of the show when we come back. Hour one will go from 6 to 7 East and then 7 to 8. A lot to talk about, obviously. I want to get everybody's opinion on Full Gear. We'll be talking about that and everything else happening in professional wrestling. Obviously, we'll be covering on Wrestling Observer Live. So check it out.
Awesome.
Guys, Rich,
Yes, sir.
you do a great podcast also.
I have thanks to you. I have 3 podcasts now.
Amazing.
Matt Men the podcast.
Yeah.
BTC Rich X on YouTube and Behind the Counter 2.0 on iTunes. Go subscribe. I talk about comics and Film Class Zeros also on iTunes. Go check that out. I do that with my buddy Alex. We talk about movies. So
And Alex does he does great car coverage.
he does. Go follow my buddy Alex Calagianis online. He's on Twitter. He does amazing car coverage, and I think he's listening now. So he's probably getting horny for that announcement. Also,
Yeah, go check him out.
Everybody's
He does
horny
great
today.
stuff. Everybody's horny. And you could listen, follow me at Andrew Zarian. I'm on Instagram also. People wanted to know, do you have an Instagram? I have an Instagram at Andrew Zarian on Instagram. It's just my normal life shit.
Everyday Andrew,
Everyday Andrew, just me. My cars, my kids, my shoes.
the real Andrew Zarian.
I'm a family man.
Yeah, love the Family Guy. You're a family man.
Yeah, with a bizarre job.
Mhm.
Talk about wrestling. It's fascinating. You can find me also, Matt Men Podcast. Guys, do us a favor. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. We had to restart our YouTube a couple years ago, so it's been a little bit of a struggle for us. But youtube.com/Matt Men Podcast. Hit the subscribe button. It's always a big help when you subscribe. Also, we're everywhere podcasts are available, so subscribe to us there. And that's it, guys. We'll see you all next time.
Later.
Adios. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Saturday, man.
I got to go on the train now. Thank you. I got
Gotta
to
go on the choo choo.
I got to go on the choo-choo and go to work.
Later, guys. Thank you.
All right, boys and girls. Thank you, everybody. Love all of you guys. See you later.